Hey, yo, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Jackson, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Championship Sunday. Now, I know, before we even hop into the video, I know some of you guys are thinking, like, he already spoiled one of his picks. Yes, I am going to pick the Ravens, but I rocks with both the Chiefs and the Ravens. So before we hop into the video, I appreciate if you guys would like the video, subscribe if you're new, comment and share my video with anyone who you think will enjoy my content, man. So hopping straight into, I'm going to be talking about the first matchup of the Championship Sunday, and that's going to be the Action Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens versus Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Really, for me, I like to talk about storylines sometimes because I really like the storylines and the build-up and how they market these games. You have easily one of the two most marketable quarterbacks in the league playing against each other for another Super Bowl appearance between both quarterbacks. We know what Patrick Mahomes has done so far in his young career. 2 regular season MVPs, 2 Super Bowl MVPs, 2 Super Bowl wins, 3 Super Bowl appearances, I think, in the past 5 years. Past 4 years. So already, seriously, if Patrick Mahomes wanted to retire, let's say he wins, he goes into the Super Bowl. If he wants to, he can retire. He got more rings than Breeze, Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers, Marino, all of them great quarterbacks that are in the Hall of Fame or going to be in the Hall of Fame already. He already got more rings than them. He can automatically go into the Hall of Fame. I think he's a Hall of Famer right now if he doesn't go to another Super Bowl. In my opinion, I really do think that he's that generational, easily one of the best quarterbacks. No, my bad. The best quarterback since he started. So since 2018, he's been the best quarterback in the league, and that hasn't even been up for debate at all, in my opinion. And I don't even think somebody even comes close. And the only person I think who comes close with a victory today and a victory 2 weeks from today will be Lamar. Lamar Jackson, his story, Patrick Mahomes' storyline, like I already said, I believe he can be a Hall of Famer if he retires today. With Lamar Jackson, 32nd overall pick. I was actually at that draft. I'll show proof right now. But I was actually at that draft when he was sliding down in that draft, and I was very disappointed, especially with him being a runner-up Heisman that year and the year before him winning the Heisman. So he was basically up for Heisman contention 2 years in a row, and for him to not even be one of the top quarterbacks selected, especially if you look at that quarterback class, like Josh Rosen. I was a huge UCLA fan, or still am, but Josh Rosen, he was cool in college, but he wasn't better than Lamar. Josh Allen out of Wyoming, really great, but he had a bunch of accuracy problems and everything like that. Baker Mayfield, I don't even know why he went 1. I felt like Lamar should have went there. Baker was a cool quarterback, and he still is now, but I just didn't think that he really deserved to go number 1. I understand, won a Heisman that year under Lincoln Riley. Got smoked by Bama, but who didn't get smoked by Bama back then? And especially with those teams they had. And then, it just underrated. Everyone trashed him pre-draft process. I think that's what really hurt him and what let him slide to 32 was that they was trying to tell him to switch positions, knowing dang well if you win a Heisman at quarterback, you can play quarterback in the league. So stop playing, man. And they ran a pro-style type offense for Louisville, and that's what they were saying the entire time anyway, was that Louisville was a pro-style type of offense that he was running. So it wasn't like he was just running some rinky-dink college scheme and then he just went to the league. He just somehow made it to the league just pure athleticism. Like, no, he made a lot of his plays with his legs and things like that, but he's more of a quarterback that wants to throw than run. But the reason why I always felt like, and I watched a lot of Ravens games this year, and I felt like the reason why the Ravens will win, and I felt the Ravens were going to go to the Super Bowl was, 1, because of their defense, and 2, the ascension of Lamar Jackson. I always felt like with Lamar Jackson, if he had real wide receivers, which he's never really had in his career, because you think about his first year, he had Hayden Hurst, Mark Andrews, right? His wide receivers were Michael Crabtree, and I'm forgetting the other wide receiver that year when he first came into the league. Those were his best receivers. It was Michael Crabtree, and because Hollywood Brown didn't come into the year after that, so he didn't really get Lamar wasn't really Lamar until 2019, and then again he won the MVP, the youngest MVP to win MVP, but also was, I think, the first unanimous quarterback to ever win the award. So Lamar Jackson has plentiful have proved that he can play in this league and everything like that. But I did feel like, again, when he had real receivers, Zay Flowers, OBJ, Andrews, again, a veteran who grew up basically with Lamar. Then you got Isaiah Likely, a really great tight end out of Coastal Carolina, who I wanted, but it doesn't even matter about Cowboys. They ain't not even in here. So I think they're going to win because of their defense. Essentially, Lamar Jackson, I always felt like once he had real receivers, which he has with OBJ and Zay Flowers, I think they can do whatever they want really against the Chiefs. It won't be easy again because the Chiefs are really a defensive-led team, so it's not going to be super easy. They still have Patrick Mahomes, who's been in this situation 1,000,001 times. This is Lamar Jackson's first time ever being in an AFC Championship game, and here he had a great presser, and he has a lot of great quotes, and he stands on those quotes, so it isn't like he's just saying something and just isn't standing on it. He said that.
In front of us right now, not at all. You know, those guys are the former Super Bowl champions, and to be a champion, you got to go through a champion, you know, so that's pretty much the mindset.
Be a champion, you got to go through a champion. Who's the defending champions right now? It's Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. I think Lamar Jackson's going to go in there. I think they're going to get a win. What it is going to take for them to win is, with great quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes, who's on that Tom Brady level, two things to beat any great quarterback: 7 points, defense. You keep the great quarterback from scoring. You keep them under duress all game. The Ravens can't do that because they got Justin Matabuke, they got Odolph Owe, they got Jadeveon Clowney as a rotational pass rusher. They got Roquan, they got Patrick Queen, they got Geno Stone, they got Kyle Hamilton, they got Marlon Humphrey. Again, all the great guys that are on the Baltimore Ravens, they are a really great team, and they're just not only top heavy, they have great depth as well. And I really like how that team has been building up. So then you got them, and then offensively, you got that offensive line: Morgan Moses, Ronnie Stanley. You got Danny Falele out of Minnesota, Tyler Linderbaum, who I wanted, Kevin Zeitler at right guard. Like I said, I already talked about Andrews and Likely. They got Nelson Aguilar, who's a really great wide receiver 3. They got Justice Hill. They got Gus Edwards. They got Dalvin Cook, who looked pretty good against the Houston Texans. So, again, I think what's going to give them troubles is them having to really maintain Lamar in the pocket. Like I said, Lamar can dime you up and dot you up from the pocket. It's when he gets out the pocket. He's already spectacular in the pocket. It's when he gets out that pocket, he's a problem. Because I understand they got Willie Gay as a spy for the Chiefs. Nick Bolton, who can kind of keep up as well. They got some nice defensive line pieces who can keep up, but I don't think Kurloftis, Chris Jones, Mike Dana, my bad, and who else they got on that defensive line? I'm trying to think about right now. But yeah, Leo Chanel, their linebacker. They got L'Jarius Sneed, Trent McDuffie. I don't know if he's playing this game right now because I don't think he's playing, but hopefully he is because I want the Chiefs to be at their best right now. But yeah, I think they're going to win because I think that the Chiefs had a tough time stopping the run against Buffalo. Okay, so for last game, the Buffalo Bills ran for 182 yards on the Kansas City Chiefs, and you got 12 carries, 72 yards from Josh Allen, and you had 18 carries and 61 yards from James Cook. And then Ty Johnson, you had 7 carries for 40 yards. So they were able to run the ball, and those were some of their top 3 rushers. So if you just flip it and just put Lamar Jackson for Josh Allen, 12 carries, 72 yards, and then you put you put Gus Edwards for 18 carries, 61 yards, and you put either Justice Hill or Dalvin Cook for 7 carries and 40 yards, I think that's what easily, those are just base numbers I think that the Ravens can get. But I think with Lamar Jackson being of a more dynamic runner than Josh Allen, Gus Edwards being a more powerful back than Cook, and Dalvin Cook or Justice Hill being a better back than Ty Johnson, I think that they can gain more yards, especially with the way that offensive line has been playing in Baltimore. I really do feel like they can go out there and go win. Like I said, they have a defense to keep up with the Chiefs. Queen, Roquan, they're going to have their hands full with Travis Kelce, but I think they're going to be fine. They can stop the run with their four, but basically with their front seven, they can stop the run. They don't have to dedicate too much into added coverage and play cover 3 or cover 1 man a lot, because they can stop the run with just who they got up front. Their 2 linebackers and the 4 men they got up front on the defensive line. Like I said, they've been the best defense all year long. They showed that against in back-to-back weeks versus the Dolphins and versus the San Francisco 49ers. They've been doing a really great job, and I think they're going to pull it together, and I do think they will be in the Super Bowl. Now, for the Chiefs' perspective, you got Patrick Mahomes, you got Kelsey, Rasheed Rice, MVS, Sky Moore, Isaiah Pacheco. Solid offensive line, especially in the interior with Trey Smith, Humphrey. I know Thuney is going to be playing, but they'll figure that out. They got Donovan Smith. They got Taylor on the right tackle spot. You got Patrick Mahomes. I think for them to win in this game for the Chiefs, you got to slow the ball down, keep Lamar Jackson on the sideline, and trying to find ways to attack that secondary. I understand Geno Stone, good safety. Kyle Hamilton, great safety. Marlon Humphrey, but I think that you can get Marlon Humphrey. I think that you can get the cornerback 2 over there for the Ravens. I think they can be had, as anybody can in the league. I think they can be had. But what they're going to need is they're going to need Kelsey to be Kelsey, regardless of Queen and Roquan in the game. This is when people have to play legendary. This is the game. This is the week that the stars come out and they actually play. It is because you're playing the championship game. You're 1 game away from going to the Super Bowl. Travis Kelce has to play like a Hall of Fame tight end, like how he's been playing, especially when it comes down to playoffs. Rasheed Rice is going to have to make a name for himself. MVS is going to have to continue being that veteran receiver, and I think he's going to be able to come up with some clutch catches, but I don't think it's going to be enough, again, to beat the Baltimore Ravens. But the Chiefs are going to have to put up some points, a lot of points, if they want to win this game, and they're going to have to maintain that run. If the Chiefs can't stop the run and they keep scoring 7 like I'm saying, I don't think the Chiefs are going to win, man. So like I said, I got the Ravens in that matchup against the Chiefs in wherever they play at M&T Bank Stadium. So San Francisco Niners versus the Detroit Lions, man. Now, all you guys know, I do not rock with the Niners at all. But if I'm putting my analytical hat on and I'm putting my bias aside, I do think the Niners will win. Again, this is, in this storyline, you got the Detroit Lions. It's a franchise who hasn't been great at all ever in team history. Since the Super Bowl era, they haven't been good. The last time they made it to a championship game was 1991. That's the last time they won their division as well. So they're doing a lot of things to overturn their history. I want the Lions to win as a fan, but if I'm putting my analytical hat on, I think the Niners are going to win. Again, this is Jared Goff's second team taking somebody to the championship game, not by himself, but with him leading the helm at quarterback. Second team he's been on, gone to an NFC championship game. Really great, proud of him doing his thing. I think the reason why I think the Niners are going to win is because Jared Goff can do 2 things. He can't play in the cold weather, can't play against great defenses, and that's what Rodney Harrison has said. And a long time ago, I think 2018, the year he gone to the Super Bowl, but ever since they've been seeing Jared Goff in the league, that's what gives them troubles. Because if you look at that year, 2018, they played the Chicago Bears in Chicago. Jared Goff had to play with 2 gloves on. He's a California kid. Jared Goff at the end of the day is just a California kid. People like me from California, I mean, it gets cold in California, but it's not like, it don't get cold like that. Like, it don't get cold like how it get in Chicago, or it gets cold in Santa Clara for sure, but not as cold like it do in Chicago and the Midwest, like where like where he's playing now. It don't get as cold as it gets down in up there in those states. And I think it's going to be a little bit chilly out there. But see, Jared Goff is used to playing against the 49ers, so it isn't like he hasn't seen this team or anything. Don't forget, he was a Los Angeles Ram. He played them twice from 2016 all the way up until he left in 2019. So he played almost 4 years, 4 or 5 years against a team twice. So he played them 10 times in his career. So this isn't anything new. Like, he played against Fred Warner. He saw Fred Warner when he was coming in the league, and he saw Fred Warner when he was at his best. And the last time when Detroit and the Niners played, Jared Goff wasn't on a team, and they played in 2021 Week 1, and that was a close game that came down to the wire. So I do think it's going to be a really great game. The reason why I do feel like the Niners are going to win, because like I already said, cold weather, defense. This is Brock Purdy's first time ever being in an NFC Championship game. We're going to see how he's going to play. But what the Lions can't do in this game, and they just can't defend the passer, man. Like Dak Prescott, Jordan Love, any of those top 10 quarterbacks had a really great days against them in the air. I think the Chargers, the Saints, all those guys had really great days passing the ball. Even Baker Mayfield had a really good day passing the ball. Not saying the quarterbacks I just named are trash, or the teams I just named are trash, because if you look at the receivers I just said with the teams, Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb, I think Dak's 300 or 400 yards, 200 of them came against Cam Sutton, but really to CeeDee Lamb. Cam Sutton, they're going to pick on Cam Sutton for sure. I already know Brandon Ayuk is going to have a field day. Greg Jennings is going to have a field day. Debo's going to have a field day, whether he's getting touch passes where they motion him and just drop it off in his chest. He's going to grab it and run. George Kittle is going to have his day. CMC, I mean, it's going to be a tough day for Detroit, really, in the secondary, in the back end. And the back four, I think it's going to be really tough for them to stop them. But I think that's where the Niners want to get them. I think you can run on Detroit, but not entirely effective. But I have something I got to say about what the Lions and how they're going to win. But like I said, I just think that they have the better coach. I think they have the better team. Hopefully Dan Campbell being Mr. Big Nuts, pause. I hope that don't really cost him in this game. But that's who he is. That's how he got here. That's what he's going to do. So there's going to be some times when they're at the 50-yard line and it's 4th and inches, 4th and 1. They're going to go for it. I mean, analytics say go for it, but he crazy. He'll go like if his offense goes like if it's like 4th and 2 and they're at their own 26-yard line, he'll go for it, right? And then if you don't get it, you'll give great field position to the Niners, and you can't do that in this game if they do that. And like I said, if he wants to be Mr. Big Cojones and he wants to do that, then it's going to cost him an NFC Championship game. Hopefully it don't cost him his job. But be aggressive when you need to be aggressive, because you need to be aggressive against the Niners to beat them. You can't come in with no whack scheme and just line up in shotgun and just don't do any motion or anything like that expecting to beat the Niners. I know, because being a Cowboy fan, playing them twice under trash Kellen Moore. But and even this past year when we played in Week 5 and got spanked, we did the same thing, just lined up. You're just not going to line up against the Niners and beat them. The Rams, you need to be able to run the ball. Aaron Jones he can't do. See a typical Cowboy fan, man. Like because Aaron Jones grew up a Cowboy fan. He'll tear up the Cowboys, but he can't tear up the Niners. Like he had a good game against the Niners, but like his record against the Niners is probably like 1-6, including playoffs. Like Aaron Jones is trash, man. He be dogging us, but he can't dog the Niners. What type of crap is that? But Aaron Jones had a really good day running the ball, and I think that when you look back at that game, 18 carries, 108 yards from Aaron Jones, and he didn't score. He caught a 2-point conversion, but 18 carries for 108 yards. You had 4 for 16 for Emmanuel Wilson. Again, they didn't really want to give it to the backup Emmanuel, because if they had A.J. Dillon playing that game, they'd probably run the ball a little bit more. But when Aaron Jones was in that game, Aaron Jones was getting it, man, and he was doing his thing. And I think that's what a better, like one of the best backfields in the league they're playing up against, and Aaron Jones had 108 yards by himself. So imagine what Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery's going to do to you. You know what I'm saying? Especially with that offensive line. I know they're not going to have Jonah Jackson. I know Frank Ragnall's hurt. Whatever. You got Graham Gaslow on the right guard end. You got right tackle Penei Sewell, left tackle. You got Taylor Decker. Solid offensive line. Sam Laporta, tight end 2. I don't know if it's going to be Zach Ertz. I think it might be Zach Ertz, maybe on limited reps, but I know Nick Wright, their second tight end, is hurt. he won't be playing. They got Amon-Ra, they got Josh Reynolds, they have Donovan Peoples-Jones. Who else they got a receiver? All I know is they got Amon-Ra, and Amon-Ra is that dude, so he's going to go out there, he's going to take care of business. Sam Laporta, he stays healthy. I think he's going to give Fred Warner a little bit. He's going to give Fred Warner some issues, because I know Jake Ferguson did. I remember Jake Ferguson ran a whip route on him, and Fred Warner got some bad hips on him. If you really challenge Fred Warner, you can give Fred Warner, but still, Fred Warner ain't no slouch. He's the best linebacker in the league. But let's not act like you just can't throw on him. You can get him. You just gotta have a quarterback like Jared Goff who's going to be able to test him. Defensively, like I said, you got a tough time stopping in the secondary. I don't think you can stop the receivers that the Niners have. I don't think you can stop Debo. I don't think if they're running on routes and you're playing 10 yards off the ball, it's a wrap, G. It's a wrap. If you're playing 10 yards off the ball against the Niners in that scheme, it's going to be a wrap. But like I said, Aiden Hutchinson got to be started this game. Aiden Hutchinson, Jack Campbell, Anzalone, your linebackers, your front seven, Aleem McNeil, those guys have to step up in this game. If you're a front seven, if you can't get home on Purdy and you can't have them pat that ball a couple more seconds, you're going to be in trouble if you're Detroit. But my Super Bowl matchup will be the Ravens versus the Niners. No conspiracy theories. I don't care about that logo crap, whatever. So that's about it for the video. Hope you guys have a nice day. Stay safe, stay blessed. Bye.